This box contains the first new Kenner-style Star Wars mini-rig in almost 40 years. Stay tuned to find out more. Now, as I said in the beginning there, this box contains the first Kenner-style Star Wars mini-rig in close to 4 decades, and I appreciate that Kenner did do the Power of the Force 2 line in the 90s. I'm talking about classic vintage Kenner style. Really, I just need to get this thing opened up, and I'm going to be quite careful doing this because quite recently I was opening another package and unfortunately slashed into the packaging on the toy. So I want to be very careful with this because, as we know, Stan Solo does the best boxes of any toy line that's currently available in this day and age. So I would hate to do something bad and rip into that beautiful artwork. So I'm actually going to raise this up here. Let's go through here. So we're in. Ha! We've got another box. So we've got a box within a box within a box. That is fantastic. Packing peanuts as well. This has been packaged extremely well. So I have to go through the whole process of being very careful, and I suspect the mini rig will be inside this one. So this time I'm going to be even more careful. Just sticking it in a little bit. And I'll try and lift it up again if I can. There we go. Ah, perfect. Ah, bubble wrap as well. So, what do we have? Nice tight fit as well. Wow, a lot of innuendo today. Ah, okay. You can probably see what it is through the bubble wrap, but I'm going to carefully get this removed. Now, I know I say this in a lot of my videos, but there is something to be said for good packaging. And that really is the case with this. So well done to, I guess it would have been John that did this from America. So thank you, John, for taking such care with this packaging. Oh, there we go. Ah, so we have, now this is a new word in my vocabulary, Ubrikkian or Ubrikkian 9000, Ubrikkian 9000. I'll go with Ubrikkian 9000, but it does say it's the, now does that say 2001 land speeder? Let's just call it a land speeder. So anyway, as always, Stan Solo does fantastic box art. This is no exception. Interestingly enough, unlike Kenner's mini rigs, this actually does appear in the Star Wars movie. It's a blink and you'll miss it shot, but it is there outside the cantina.
You really think we're... Come along, R2.
Yep, there we go. Now, I remember reading about this. So, it's got a clamshell, and I think some people were not necessarily complaining, but asking why it didn't have the normal cardboard insert. I think the reason explained was that it does have a very small antenna sticking out the top, and this clamshell has been made in such a way to keep that protected. Now, I don't know about you, I would much rather have the plastic clamshell and an unbroken toy than cardboard inserts and the potential for that antenna to get broken. So this is a smart move. So, just put this box to the side and try to close it gently because I don't want to bend anything. I am loving that box. Fantastic. So, pop this open and we're inside. So, this is the, let me just check this again, Ubrikkian 9000. And you know, this is going to sound quite crazy. The plastic used, it has that vintage Kenner feel to it. It's not like a modern plastic, which, let's be honest, are quite inferior to the plastics we had for toys as kids. This one has that feel to it. And we've got, what, 4 of these windows that you can actually see into. There's a hinge here, so I'm assuming that we can lift this. Ah, there we go. So there's a hatch here, and we can see inside. But in order to get the figures in and out, I believe there is another hatch. Ah, there we go. I guess you just sort of bit of pressure on there. This lifts up. Wow. So we've got some nice decals here. We've got like a radar scope and what appears to be an image of the cantina. Fantastic. And a couple of stickers for the controls. Now, it's got a nice sort of stand. So I guess that would be a landing gear. Doesn't retract, doesn't need to retract. It's part of the display. And I'm going to assume that Greedo used this to arrive at the cantina. So we have Greedo waiting patiently right here. Let's see how he fits into this. And it is, of course, 2-seater, so we can give him a buddy as well. Who can we give him? I guess Hammerhead could be his companion. But he sits in there, looks great like that. Closes up. Yep, there we go. Greedo is inside his ship. And I am really impressed with this. I'm going to try and open it up again. Oh, there we go. Like I said, a little bit of pressure on the front, and then it just lifts back. And I guess if you were playing with this as you would have done, you know, what, 4 decades ago, you may want to lift up the front one here. So there we go. And then you can still see inside, and there's little Greedo sitting there. I know I sound like a salesman when I do these Stan Solo videos, but there's no denying that these products that he's putting out are absolute quality. And not only is it a quality made item, it's been made in such a way that it really does fit in with a vintage Star Wars collection. Because as I said, I can't portray this on camera, but the feel of the plastic, even the sound when you tap it, it's exactly the sort of stuff that Kenner used. Nice sort of printing on the side there with some decorations, we'll call it. Also loving the clear plastic windows, and those fit in very nicely. You can see how they clipped into place there. There's even a bit of sculpting on the inside. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I'm not sure of the current availability of these, but please do keep your eyes out on the various avenues that Stan Solo Creations products are sold on. I know that in America, John Kelly handles it, and once again, he's done a fantastic job. And the packaging, I cannot stress enough how important good packaging is for getting these items shipped out, and this was first class. And I'm just thinking about this, and this must be causing a real dilemma for the members of these elitist collecting groups. I'm talking about Echo Base and ICCC. Those guys must be dying to get their hands on this, but because of their code of conduct where they're not allowed to support someone that makes repro, they're missing out on this, and they're missing out big time. This is one of the coolest things I've ever seen, and the fact that the Star Wars universe, and in particular the original trilogy, is so vast. There are many more items like this I'm sure could be produced, and Chris has made a stellar choice in picking this one. Obviously, he did the Bantha that Kenner never officially did. I think there was a prototype at one time, but it was never released. Kenner missed a trick on this one. This would have been great to have as a kid. As an adult, I am going to love having this on display with my vintage figures. And unless Hasbro do a retro collection Greedo, I may have to get another Greedo to sit him in here because he fits in there perfectly. And as I said, let's just assume that this is Greedo's ship. So there you go. Once again, I'm going to refer to this, the Ubrikkian. I'm going to get that right one of these days. Ubrikkian. It's a speeder, and it's very nice. So if you're in the mood, if you want one of these, I'll post links to the various places that Stan Solo Creations sells his products. As I said, I don't know the current availability on this, but just keep checking back. So please let me know in the comments, what do you think of this? Is this one of the coolest things you've ever seen? I think it is. So let me know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like this video, please share the video, and please make sure you're subscribed and stay tuned for more videos from All Things 80s.